How was break? Mmekunywa chai, mko na nguvu? Okay. Sawa sawa. So, allow me to erase. Do we have, are our laptops connected to the internet? Sawa sawa. So, I think we'll get right to it. Are we all ready? Tuko sawa. If you're ready, please let me just see a thumbs up. Girls, ladies, sorry. Okay. So, I want us to go to the internet and search this. Pictoblocks.ai. You should be able to imefungua. Do you all have platform that looks like this? In a load? Okay. Are these your personal computers? Not everyone? Okay. But they are computers you have access to. Sawa. So later on, because I know if we can try downloading PictoBlocks, the offline version, kama hii yangu. We go to, can open a new tab and just search PictoBlocks, download. But I know since all of us are on the network, it's going to be a bit slow. And it's a really big file, almost 1 GB. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. Sawa, but maybe on Monday, by Monday mkirudi mkwe may download. Sawa. Yeah, so, yes? Oh, you've already downloaded? Good. Yeah, sawa. So for PictoBlocks, it's very intuitive. Ukienda pale, you'll just press the Windows button. Windows installer, depending on your laptop, but probably zote za sahi ni 64-bit. You go to Windows installer 64-bit, put your name, you put your email, your country, and then you can just say, no thanks, I just want to download PictoBlocks. And then it will start the download. Sawa. Yeah, so by Monday, please make sure you have it downloaded offline, because the activities on Monday need the offline version. All right, so we can go back to this. A skip. The second one, blocks. The first one is junior blocks, right? Yeah, so hiyo ya pili, blocks. Okay, are we all there? Thumbs up if we're all there. Network. Pia yako. Still loading. Hapo mko sawa? Nyinyi ndio mmevuta network, mmemalizia wengine. No, you can download later.
I can download later?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so let's just use the online one, pictoblocks.ai. Are we all there now? You'll download later, so you can just open the, yeah. It's loading. Nudge. I may need your help. Naweza kuwa uko na flash. Flash. Naweza niangalia flash hapa ndani ya white. Ama kunaweza kuwa na anybody with a flash disk. I put the offline. Okay. Kuna space 1 GB. Small one. No. Pictoblocks, this one. You're having problem with the internet? Oh, not Pictoblock, it's X.
What about this? What would you like to do?
Oops. Not the ZM Robo. Pictoblocks.ai. Blocks. Who else needs my help? Mko sawa? You're okay? Mko sawa huku? Okay. You're getting there. Do you have another flash? Umepata? Oh, sawa. Umepata. Skip.
You just close. Eh?
If it asks for your email or logging in, just skip that part. Yeah. So the offline version will just circulate, we'll install it. But if the online one imesha kubali, so Go sawa. Go sawa. I see all of us are there now. Okay. Umeipata kwa flash? Okay. Sawa. Now we can get right to it. So now, there are two things I've written here. The first one is sprite, the second one is backdrop. These are two fundamental things in this block-based programming, particularly PictoBlocks and Scratch that I mentioned earlier. So for a sprite is the object that is being programmed, okay? Sprite is the object that's being programmed. And then the backdrop is the environment. Okay? So backdrop is the environment, sprite is the object. If we take the example of this room actually. When you take the example of this room, all of us are sprites, okay? All of us are sprites. This the laptop is a sprite. This marker pen is a sprite. This microphone is a sprite. The phone, the fan, those are sprites, okay? But then this particular room is the backdrop. The environment where the sprite in a kit. Sawa. The room outside is another backdrop. The environment outside is another backdrop. Okay? Okay? Yeah. All right. To see if we have understood that concept, a building itself, in comparison to the atmosphere around it, is the building a sprite or a backdrop? A sprite, a backdrop, a sprite, a backdrop, a backdrop, a sprite. There's a building itself, right? No, you. In relation to the environment around it. Correct, it's a sprite. Sawa sawa. But then, a human being inside the building, in relation to this building itself, the human being is a sprite, and then the building backdrop, correct. So, tukiangalia pale, there is this face of like a bear, right? You can click it. You'll see a search button, or you can just tap it. You can just click it. It will lead you to this. Are we all here? Yeah. So these are the different sprites that are available in PictoBlocks. Sawa sawa. So you can just navigate and see them. We have Toby. Toby is, I think, is a bear. Yeah. Toby is a bear. We have human beings. We have Isaac, who's a robot. We have this like a gaming pad. We have a hand. We have like shades. We have more human beings. We have an apple. Using the concept of sprites. Yeah, so sprites are objects that are going to be programmed. For example, if we have like maybe Abby. Let me pick Abby because that's my name. So Abby, if you want Abby to walk, or you want Abby to speak, or you want Abby to run, or we want Abby to move from one room to another, we are going to program Abby, right? We're not going to program the rooms. So we are going to be programming the sprites, okay? Or okay? Yeah. All right. But if we are not together, make sure you tell me we are not together so that I ensure to mepata e content. Sawa sawa. Then the next one is the backdrop. we click the backdrop and see the different backdrops that are available. Unaangalia pale. The first one is the Arctic. Ya pili ni a baseball field. Just choosing randomly, we have a bedroom. Choosing randomly, we have a castle. We have another castle here. Another castle. Hii castle inaonekana na nje. Hii ni inside the castle itself. Naona hapa kuna stairs, right? Then hii ingine ni yenye inaonekana tu from the outside. So they are in different. We have another design of a bedroom. We have a maze. Sawa sawa. So these are the places where the sprites are going to stay in. Sawa sawa. So for example, the already automatic sprite yenye imechaguliwa na PictoBlocks tukiingia is Toby, right? But Toby doesn't have a backdrop, so you can choose any backdrop of your choice. I'll select the beach personally. Mnaona vile? Yeah, so if you'd like to change it, you can go change and put a different sprite. You can actually put as many sprites as possible, but then you program every sprite individually. Can take John. So do we all have a backdrop and 2 sprites of our choice? We do? Yeah. So utaona, we can we pick one? Can we pick the when flag is clicked and put it there? Yeah, from the events. You drag it. On the mouse pad. The mouse pad is like this, right? So unashikilia pale, you long press this one, and then you drag using this environment. Long press the left button, and you drag using this space. Sawa sawa. So you have done that with either the first or the second sprite. So you can go to the other sprite. So for mine, I'll go to John.
Are you understanding on someone ambaye nyuma?
Menda kwa your second sprite. See, you are seeing the when flag is clicked imepotea. Or can you see the when flag is clicked, when green flag is clicked, imepotea, si ndio? But when you go to the other sprite, iko, si ndio? Ama ni yangu peke yake? Because when I go back to Toby on mine, we find that code. Sawa sawa. So this is to tell us that every sprite gets to be programmed individually. Okay? Every sprite gets to be programmed individually. So the things we want Toby to do, we'll program them on Toby. The things we want John to do, we'll program them on John. So whatever we have written on Toby, John cannot do unless we write the same ones on John. Sawa sawa. So if we add a third sprite, a fourth sprite, every individual sprite goes with their individual codes. Does that make sense? Okay. Sawa sawa. Then another thing I want us to look at before we work on a project together is costumes. Can you see costumes up or do the third thing? On the socket. Have we gone to costumes? Tumeenda kwa costumes wote. Aya, for the sprite that you chose, does it have different costumes? For example, for John, John has 7 costumes. So the costumes ni venye, the way, if you look at me, all eyes on me. If you look at me and I'm standing like this is one costume. If I'm putting my hands like this is another costume. If I'm surprised, that's another costume. If I'm smiling, that's another costume. Sawa sawa. And if I have my foot like this is one costume, okay? If I have my foot like this is another costume. All right? So if I'm changing between this costume and this costume, sinakaa ni kama natembea, right? And then if I'm moving 10 steps, see, we get the movement there, sawa sawa. So you see, are we seeing the essence of costumes? It's to help us achieve particular movements with the particular sprites that we have. So for example, for John hapa, John tukiangalia kwanza ni John anasimama. When we look at the second one, John is standing but ameweka mikono vile. When we look at the other one, amesimama straight. We look at this other one, ameweka mikono but pia mguu moja. When we look at the other one, ameweka miguu zote mbili apart. This other one, now John is actually running. Mguu moja iko juu. And then the other one, the other leg, mguu ilikuwa juu imerudi chini. Sawa sawa. So if we manipulate these costumes, we are going to get John walking. We are also going to get John running. Sawa sawa. Okay, can we have someone to tell us what they have from the costumes that they have? Yes?
Yeah, we have 4 costumes.
4 costumes, right?
Hazel has 4 costumes.
Hazel has 4 costumes. What's the first one?
The first one is Hazel standing.
Hazel standing.
Yeah, and the second one, standing with a raised hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, Hazel walking. About to walk, and the 4th one completes the movement.
Completes the movement of walking, right? Yeah. So that is the whole essence of having costumes there. So now we can go back to the blocks. So when you go back to the blocks, when we look at this particular part, we see the name of the sprite that we have selected. Okay. So this, for kama hii yangu, we have John, right? And then we have X coordinate and Y coordinates. Where is our teacher? The teacher in the room? Who's the teacher? Oh, you're a teacher. Yeah. So when you go to school, mwalimu will teach you something called a Cartesian plane. Sawa sawa. Do you all remember Cartesian plane? Ilikuwa inakaa vile, where we have X axis and the Y axis. Mwalimu nikidanganya useme. Sawa sawa. So we have the X axis and the Y axis. The Cartesian plane is used to define coordinates, that is a position, at the relative position of a person or an object in space. Sawa sawa. So kama mimi sahi, I have particular coordinates to where I'm standing, to where you're seated, to where this building is, to where Mombasa is. Sawa sawa. So on the Cartesian plane, if we have kama 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we have an object in this particular position, when we are stating the position of this object, we are going to say its X position is 1, its Y position is 2. Sindio? An object that's like on this particular place, X position yake is 3, Y position is 4. Do you remember something like this? Yeah. So that is the same concept that happens here. Sawa sawa. So we have the X axis, which is in that direction of the arrow. We have the Y axis in that direction of the arrow. Sawa sawa, either up or down. So if I take John, for example, and I move John along the X axis like that, you see the X value of the X has changed to 168. If I move John up along the Y axis, naona the Y axis changes. Also the X has changed a bit because nikimpandisha juu pia nimesonga kando kidogo, because it's not a ruler. Sawa sawa. Does that make sense? So when we are programming sprites and we need them to be in particular positions, we are going to leverage the X and the Y coordinates. Sawa sawa. For example, we want to put John akianza aingie pale kwa maji. So we are going to identify the coordinates of that particular point of the water, and we are going to put that in our code. Sawa sawa. Sawa sawa? Yeah. And then this one for showing is just to either show the sprite or not show it. Then the size is to change the size of the sprite. You can go there and put any particular number. You can't go beyond, I think, 1028, and you can't go below 8. So for the size, I can put my size to be 65. You see what has happened? Yeah, it has reduced in size. So you can use this one for size to just manipulate your sprite upate a particular size yenye unataka. For example, maybe you might find if you're using a sprite ya binadamu kuingia kwa mlango, and the sprite, original size of the sprite is bigger than the door, you just use that to reduce the sprite to fit into the door. Sawa sawa. And then the direction. On the direction, it's actually really easy here because now we have the arrow to show us. But for this is also pia pale shuleni, mwalimu will also tell you, when we have like a clock, we have this is position 0, this is position 90, this is position 180, and this is position negative 90. Sindio? Yeah. So when you look at that, the direction hapa imeandikwa 90. But if you want to get to up position, inaangalia vile 90, 180. Mnaona John anabadilika. You can also do that to your sprites and then see, because we have different sprites. So as I'm doing, let's do it together. So that is kind of kama... Yeah, you can. Have you figured it out? You haven't. Has anyone figured that out before I tell you guys how to do it? Yes, you have. So where do we find the one for inverting? Has anyone figured that out? Sawa sawa. So tukienda pale kwa costumes, let's go to Toby. Particularly, there's this one. Meiona. Flip horizontal. This one actually comes in handy maybe when we have two sprites that are communicating to each other when you wanaongea. So you'd find most of them, they are facing the same direction like that. So you just flip one of them to face the other direction so that they can have a conversation. Sawa sawa. Thank you for the question. All right, do you have any questions up until that point? Yes? Sorry? A number of costumes. They are limited to the number of costumes that are already there. Yeah, that are already there. So ukipata kama ziko 5, ni hizo tu 5. Yeah, you can't add others. Yeah. Any other question? Any other question? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times, no question. Okay. So we go to this particular area with very, very colorful circles.
Sprite bend.
We have an interesting question here. Yes, can you make a sprite bend? I have never come across it personally, but tukipata, why not? That one cannot do that. I don't think we can. But if we can, tukienda we can go and research. I can also go and research because personally I haven't encountered that, and then we see. If it can bend, it's actually going to be really nice. Yeah. Sawa. So to the, yeah? You found it? Yo. The direction. Yeah?
If you use direction, it's not bending, it's rotating.
Yeah. Sawa. Can we now go to the colorful circles? on the far right, far left. Yes. Sawa sawa. So the first one hapo, we have motion. How much time do I have? Okay. Sawa sawa. So the very first one pale, we have motion. Okay. So you'll find that we have a color. The blocks that are in that section correspond. So on this particular section, you'll find that the color on the circle corresponds to the color of blocks inside. Okay. So if you go to the next one, the purple one, you'll find the colors of the blocks are purple. If you go to the blue one, the colors are blue. Sawa sawa. And then the names of the blocks correspond to what is happening there. Kama hiyo ya kwanza, we have motion, right? So for motion, motion basically ni movement. So any movement that is going to be associated to the sprites, you will find it there. Sawa sawa. So if you need the sprite to walk, that's move 10 steps, you'll find it pale. If you need the sprite to turn, you'll find it there. If you need the sprite to point in a particular direction, either up, kando, this clock, you're going to find it there. Sawa sawa. Anything that will involve the sprite moving, you're going to find it pale. Sawa sawa. So you can see on your screen, you have the move 10 steps, turn 15 degrees. Actually, to know how that operates, you can ukifinya pale ina respond. Unaona? But this is just for testing. Sawa sawa. For you to be able to program it, it needs to come to this programming field. Hapa katikati. Sawa sawa. Aya. So to turn the other way, unafinya tu pale. For Toby to move. Sawa sawa. When we want Toby to go to a random position, ukifinya random, anaenda tu kote. Sawa sawa. Tuko pamoja? Are you doing what I'm doing? Yeah. Then the Cartesian plane sasa. You remember when we were talking about the Cartesian plane? So kama pale, can we put a random position pale ndani on 65? We can do like 120 and what? And 9. Okay. What has happened? You can use the ones I've used. 120 and 9 on the y-axis. Have we done that? You can also check on your neighbor to ensure we are all together on the same page, sindio? So that tusiwache wengine nyuma. If you also need me to come and see, you just call on me nitakuja. So you've seen what has happened. Toby or whatever sprite you have programmed has moved to that particular position. Sawa. So we have the glide to that position and we have go to. So here go to inaenda to pop. But for here glide unaona anasonga vile. But then when you move it back, it changes. Inabadilika tu pale. Then point in direction, siyo tumeshaiangalia. We know what that is. Yeah, point in that direction, juu, chini, kando. Point towards the mouse pointer. This is the mouse pointer, this cursor. Sawa. You're going to look at hizo zingine pia on your own. Ndio ukipata maswali, you can always just ask, maybe on Monday or maybe over lunch hour. So then we have looks. So looks, for example, you have the one that say hello for 2 seconds, say hello, think, for 2 seconds or think sawa sawa. Tukiweka pale itasema vile hello 2 seconds inapotea. Sawa. Tukiweka hello itabaki tu hivyo hello mpaka tuitoe. Sawa sawa. Hiyo ya think, and I said if you see white space like this on any of the blocks, inamaanisha you can always change what is written inside. Sawa sawa. Yeah. So kama hiyo ya say hello, unaweza badilisha ikue hi, my name is Abigail and I'm your teacher today. Or like, hi, the class is very boring, I want to sleep. Or hi, I'm enjoying the class. Or whatever it is you want to put there. Sawa sawa. Hata unaweza weka pia Kiswahili. Sawa sawa. Then we have switch costume. Switch costume to Toby walking 1, Toby walking 2, Toby walking 3. So that means tukipanga hii block ifuatane na tuseme tuweke Toby walking 1 and then we put it there. And then we put another one just below it for Toby walking 2. And then we click it. We need to add yeah. Si mnaona vile ime switch to that other costume. If we need to, we can go duplicate. If we need, ukipata kwa you want to write the same kind of code, you just go and duplicate. Sawa sawa. Let me do it again for those that missed it. You right click. If you right click, you get the duplicates. Make sure you're also checking on your neighbor that we are together, that all of us are doing the same thing. What's on my screen is what's on your screen. You duplicate vile, unaipata all that entire block, and then you put it there. Then we go to control, we put another weight block. The importance of putting the weight block pale katikati is so that it can know that it will do that, ingoje sekunde moja, ibadilike. Without the weight block, itakuwa confused. What do I do? Am I doing this? Am I doing this? Sawa sawa, bila hiyo time katikati. In Toby walking 1, Toby walking 2. We can now change Toby walking to be Toby walking 3. And Toby jump. Mumuona what has happened? Do I repeat? Okay. So, let's analyze the code first so that we know what we are expecting to see from Toby. Sawa sawa. So, pale ya kwanza tumeka switch costume to Toby walking 1. Wait 1 second. Switch costume to Toby walking 2. Wait 1 second. Then switch costume to Toby walking 3. And then switch costume to Toby jumping. Sawa sawa. So what we are expecting to see, we've said that sequencing in programming, itafuata hizo steps tu zenye umeweka. So ya kwanza tuna expect kuona Toby akiwa kwa hii position, then abadilisha ende hii position, abadilisha ende hii position, alafu aruke. Sawa sawa. So let's watch and see if Toby is going to do that. Simona ime change to those particular. But sasa tukitaka atembee, itabidi tumeongeza move 10, hiyo ya move 10 steps, right? So we can go sawa sawa. So hizi zingine si necessary because they are just for explanation. Tukiweka move 10 steps peke yake, tunaona anasonga tu moja moja vile, sawa? But then tukitaka atembee continually, Yeah? Yeah, we'll need to put a loop actually. Yeah. So that it can be continuous, it can be continuous movement. Unaona anatembea kidogo, anasimama. Inabidi tumefinya tena ndio aweze kutembea. Si ndio? Is that what's happening on your screen as well? Ama inafanyika kwa yangu peke yake? Yeah, so we are going to put a loop to make him walk continuously. Sawa sawa. So the loops are found pale kwa control. We can put the forever. So ataenda tu forever mpaka afike kwa edge, aendelee kusonga tu akiendanga. Sawa sawa. So if you want a particular action to happen more than one time, you go to these loops. Sawa sawa. So either to repeat 10 times or to happen just continuously. You put the forever block. Sawa sawa. And now that we are, do you remember the if then else? What did we call them yesterday? Who remembers? Not sequence, correct. Conditions. They are conditional statements. Sawa sawa. They depend on a particular condition to happen. Sawa sawa. So if tukieka pale. So if a particular condition that is within here happens, then whatever it is we put here should happen. Sawa sawa. And then another important thing to note, tukiangalia vile pale ni kama a dash. It's like a space yenye iko pale. So that means we need to look for something of this particular shape to put in there. Sawa sawa. Those are going to be the conditions that are going to be set. So tukiendelea pale chini we are going to see that. So that is the bit of control. And then have we looked at events? We haven't. So events kama kwa kawaida, what does an event mean? What does an event mean? A function. A function. And in the function it means that something is happening, right? Yeah. So that means most of these blocks, they are called heart blocks because inakaa kama kofia mnaona pale juu vile. So most of the heart blocks are the blocks that will always start a code. Si mnaona for Toby to move, kama vile tulieka ile ya kwanza, I always have to like press ndio ifanyike. But now with the heart blocks, they'll have to just start automatically based on what heart block you have put there. Kama here hapa when flag is clicked. So that means when this green flag is clicked, all the codes zenye ziko hapo chini zinaanza kukua executed. Sawa sawa. So you just press one thing and then you let the code flow. Sawa sawa. Or when the space bar is clicked. Ukiangalia pale space bar iko na up, down, left, any, afu A mpaka Z, and then 0 mpaka 9. Sawa sawa. So that means for that, if you just press the space bar or G or whatever arrow umeweka, every code chini yake inakuwa executed. Sawa sawa. Does that make sense? So for these heart blocks, they allow particular events to happen based on when this event itself is executed. Sawa sawa. So when we actually get to do project, hizi ndio zitakuwa most of our starting blocks for whichever code. Hizi hapa ndio zitaanza. Sawa sawa. So now tulikuwa tumefanya control. Now to the sensing part. The sensing part ndio sasa tunaanza kupata the feelers. The feelers. By feelers I mean zenye zinaingia kwa zile tunafasi. Sawa sawa. So you remember is this a hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a hexagon, right? Yeah, so for the space in the conditional statement here, if nafasi, then something should happen. So these are the things that can fit within that based on what it is you want to achieve. Sawa sawa. So to take it there, we can put, to show you how that happens. Unaingia pale kwa sensing, unaichukua. Sawa? And then you put it there. Ukiona imekuwa white, unawachilia inaingia. Can you try it on your own? Unaikaribisha pale, ikikuwa white, it means it's ready to accept. Tumejaribu vile? Ya nani bado haijaingia ndani? Kila mtu ameweka. Ya nani bado? Be sure to also just constantly check on your neighbor, because I can't come to every computer. Uko sawa? Not yet. Pale kwa control unachukua iko hapa hapa. Good. And then unaenda kwa sensing, then any. Ingisha hapo. Hivyo. Sawa. Kila mtu ameweza kufanya? Who needs my help? My help or your neighbor's help? Tuko sawa? Thumbs up if we are together. Okay. Sawa sawa. So that's what happens there. So when we go to now operators pia have the fillers as well. Mnaona pale another hexagon. We can remove this hexagon, yeah, and put this other one pale ndani. So tukiweka pale, mnaona kuna hii nafasi pia, si ndio? So hii nafasi, it means it can take anything of this particular shape. It can also take this one here, up here. Iingie pale. Anything that's ovular. But then this ovular thing also needs another ovular thing. But that depends on what you're just trying to achieve with your code. Sawa sawa. This other part, you can change it from 50 to like 7 or 5 or 10 or 100. In the sprite. An example would be, you remember I mentioned that PictoBlocks can be used for hardware programming as well, right? So in an example where we need to automate the opening of a door, sawa sawa, that would mean we'd have a sensor, maybe that senses your hand or your fingerprint, and then it opens the door using maybe a servo motor, sawa sawa. So that is where this particular conditional statement would come. So we can use this one. Sawa sawa. So in this one, in this particular space, we are going to put like if the sensor that can be used pale maybe can be an ultrasonic sensor or maybe a sensor, a fingerprint sensor. So if we are using a fingerprint sensor, that would mean utakuwa ushaweka kwa system, hii fingerprint ni ya Abigail, hii fingerprint ni ya Hadija, hii fingerprint ni ya Apunda, Najla, sawa sawa. So now when you come here, you're going to say if fingerprint that has been sensed belongs to either Abigail, Najla, everyone in the system, if the fingerprint sensor is equals to all of those people in the system, then open the door. Sawa sawa. Sawa sawa. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a number. Yeah, because you can always, unaangalia tuseme kama hii, inaweza ingia pale pia. So that means you can always put anything pia pale. Sawa sawa. Haya. So, I want us to do something practical now. Sawa sawa. Do you have any questions so far? Yes? No questions? Any questions from this end? Okay. When we do a practical, the content will cement better. Sawa sawa. So let's go to, I want us to create a game. Sawa sawa. A game, a maze game. So for this particular game, you remember we said that for picto blocks, we can either create animations, we can create stories, and we can create games. Sawa sawa. So right now I want us to create a game. We can actually create a game or an animation. What's your preference? Animation. Animation? Game? As many as are of the opinion. Huh? Say aye. Wapi wale wa animation? Let's see. Ama tufanye zote mbili. Sawa. Aya, wacha tuanze basi na game alafu tufanye animation. Sawa sawa. So that would mean itabidi tumetafuta sprites na tumetafuta backdrop. Sawa sawa. So pale kwa back, make sure your coding environment is empty, so that we are starting afresh. Delete all the sprites and then go look for a beetle pale kwa sprites. Tafuteni sprite beetle, backdrop, maze. Mkienda pale, by the way, you can always just search. You see the search bar pale. If your screen looks like mine, thumbs up. Almost there. Hadija, help your friend. Mko sawa? Okay. Sawa sawa. So, we want to make a game where this beetle atatoka kwanzia hapa, starting point, hadi afike pale kwenye apple. Sawa sawa. But then, if it's a game, definitely we need to make it as challenging as possible, right? And we also need to ensure that it's performing the particular task yenye nimesema, to move from the starting point to the end point. So, how do you think we can do that? Not the codes we are going to do it together, but how can we achieve that? How can we make it as challenging as possible and make it look like a game?
So
Yeah,
the beetle on a specific starting position. Then you make it, if it does not pass through the
space.
Through the spaces, maybe to pop up a notification, maybe wrong way, something like that.
Or you can go to the beginning.
Uh-huh.
If you fail, you go to the beginning. You start again fresh.
Exactly. So you've said particular starting point. If you fail, go to the beginning. Any other? Number of lines. Lives. Okay. Number of lives. I like these suggestions. Another one? So number of lives. Something. So we need to put another sprite. Okay. We can put that as level 2. Ikuwe na easy, intermediate, alafu hard. Sindio?
Alafu trying levels.
Or trial.
Yeah, levels only 2 times.
Before you now get to the start. Okay. Another one. So by what criteria does failing entail? What happens so that you say that failing has occurred? If it touches, touches line, and then?
When it hits the edges.
Uh-huh. Timer. So that means we'd also need to have a timer. So that would mean the beetle needs to move as quickly as possible to the end without touching the lines, right? I like this. This is very interesting. Another one?
It's the apple once reach the finish line.
Uh-huh. When it reaches the apple?
When it reaches the finish line to
To eat the apple. So that would mean, well, because it can't really eat the apple itself and finish off the apple, we can put ikifika pale, say like maybe congratulations, right?
Level 2, we can make the apple after eaten to change the position. So you have to follow it.
So that you have to follow it again. Apple. So level 2, but now the apple is part of the backdrop, unless we like introduce another sprite. Can you introduce another sprite that would be like the end goal? So that when it gets to that sprite changes position to another position. So kama tuseme ilikuwa pale, it goes to maybe here. Ah, okay. All right. So we can try that. So this is level 1. We can do level 1 first, and then we try level 2. Sawa sawa. Aya. So another question for you guys. What are some of the keys that we can use in the computer to make the sprite move? Arrow keys, right? Yeah, so you can use the up, left, right, down. Correct. I think we can start with that one. Sindio, that's the most basic part. We ensure when we press the up arrow, anaangalia juu. When we press down arrow, anaangalia chini. Left, right. Sawa sawa. So where do we decide to be our starting point? Hapa? Sawa. So tutaiweka pale. So now, the very first thing, remember, we can make the size 60. Nasikia hizi suggestions kali kali. Aya. Nimesema 60. Direction pointing 0. Teaching very smart students here. Students. Hata tunaweza enda tu turudi take kids tuachie wajifunze 0. Sawa. We remember the very first blocks that start a code. We said ziko pale kwenye the heart blocks here, which are found in events. Sawa. So let's all go to events. Does your beetle look like mine? Facing up and in that size? If your beetle looks like mine, thumbs up. Okay. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes?
But if we give the beetle at the end,
Hapa.
to the starting point.
Hapo.
Yes.
Sawa. Munakubaliana ikwe pale? Only one. Oh, there are so many people of the contrary opinion. Sawa. Tuko tayari kwanza basi. Tuende pale kwa events. Right? So tutachukua gani hapo? The second one. Okay. So we're going to put that one. And then we look for up arrow, right? When the up arrow is pressed, tunataka nini ifanyike? To move forward. So when the up arrow is pressed, we want it to move forward, right? So the challenge with that is, if at that particular point, enye una press, inaangalia pale, it's going to move forward. It won't know that it needs, so you know what you're missing? Uh-huh. So what? Turn right. Okay, let me tell you guys what you have told me. Sawa. Mmeniambia, when up arrow is clicked, we want it to move forward. Sinivo. But then I've posed a challenge back to you and I've asked, what happens when, at a particular point when you're starting the game, anaangalia kando vile. Okay, press the up arrow, it's going to move forward. So ataanza kwenda kando vile. Because you remember it's going to do exactly what you've told it to do. Sindio? Aya. Ama, let's try. So you've said you want when the up arrow is pressed, move 10 steps, right? So mnaona anafinya na anasonga. So what is missing? Ama mnaona iko sawa ikiwa vile? Because if I also change it to face maybe that direction, and I press the up arrow, inasonga. What's missing? Who's going to tell us? There's one thing that's missing pale for it to be perfect. No, just think about it naturally. When we press the up arrow, we want it to move forward, right? We want it to turn left. When we press the up arrow, it turns left. Well, you want it to turn right. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. No, just think about it. Don't overthink. Sawa. Don't overthink. When we press the up arrow. Okay. When we press the down arrow, what do you want to happen? Okay. When we press the up arrow, you want it to move forward. Okay. When we press the left arrow, to turn left. But you don't want it to move?
To move and turn left.
Exactly. When we press the right arrow, to move and turn right, or to turn right and move?
Turn right and move.
Remember, it's very important. So remember, sequencing is really important. Sawa. If you say you want it to move, it's going to move. Once it finishes moving, it now turns right. Sawa. So we want it to turn right, and then it moves, right? It can, when it's down, to turn? Yeah, to turn down and then move, right? Yeah. Sasa ear up. The same things you've been telling me. Tukifinya up, what do you want to do?
Go forward and move.
To go forward and move.
But forward, it depends on the
Yeah. You see, it hivi bado ni forward. Hivi bado ni forward. Huh? If I turn back and go towards the wall, I'm still moving forward. So there's one thing that's missing. And that's one thing you've already told me here, you've told me here, you've told me here. When I'm talking up, exactly. To face up. Sawa. So when we press the up arrow, we want it to face up. So before moving 10 steps, we want it to point in direction 0. So let's go to the motion. Do we have those 3? So now, when you press the up arrow, it should now be doing the right thing. It's now doing the right thing, right? Tukifinya ya juu, tunataka iangalie juu na ianze kusonga. Sawa. Ikiangalia, if it's the left arrow, tunataka iangalie upande wa left na ianze kusonga. Sawa. Angalia ya jirani kama inafanya the right thing. After umeconfirm yako inafanya the right thing. Iko sawa?
After moving 10 steps, you point direction.
Where's the up arrow?
Here.
Press it.
Moving right.
Na simshaweka the offline version. Mbona mtumii the offline version? Mbona mtumii the offline version? Na mshaiweka?
Sometimes it's
Yeah. Maybe you try using the offline version. No, the one ilikuwa kwa e-flash. Umeiweka? Iko wapi? Here. You can remove the keyboard. Ina load. Yako imefanya? Still no. Ya nani imefanya what the right thing? All of yours have jammed. Ya kila mtu imejam. Yeni imefanya? Haijafanya. Are you using the offline version or the online one? Offline. Online. Oh, you've put the wrong mini, the wrong code. We don't want it to turn like that. We want it to point direction 0. Iangalie hivyo juu. Sawa. And then hii unarusha pale. Sawa. Instruction mliweka instruction inafanana. Yako iko sawa? Iko sawa? Haya, hata hii pia iko sawa. Nice. You're good? Okay. Point in direction. Ndio. Make sure imeshikana na hii. Isiposhikana haita work. Alafu move 10 steps. Sawa. Have we done that? Sawa. So who's going to tell us the next thing that we are going to do? We've already finished with the up arrow, correct? 100%. Repeat, not quite. Another direction, but you already got it. Another arrow. Yeah. So another arrow. Which one do we go for next? 20 right. Sawa. So what are the codes that we're going to put? I want you guys to tell me. The codes that you're going to put for the right arrow. Turn right. So for not quite, but
we'll start with another block of when.
Another block of when, correct. So mujitayarishe mtaniambia ya left. So the right one.
Another block of when.
Another block of when, and then. Yes? No, the two of them wanajitayarisha for your left. Ama mnataka msaidiane wote? Najua unit is strength. Aya, msaidiane wote basi. Yeah?
So another block of when.
Another block of when?
Then you come and put the conditions, whether it's right arrow, then press.
Correct.
Another block.
Another block that says
Point direction 0.
point in direction 0.
90.
Yeah, point in direction 90, correct. And then after that?
Move 1 step.
Yeah, move 10 steps, correct. All right. So that's correct. Now you're left. Are you ready?
Yes. So we need a heart key, which is when left arrow is pressed.
Okay.
Pointing. Go back to 0.
Go back to 0. You wanna correct that? Pointing? Correct. Pointing negative 90.
90.
Yeah. And then?
Move 1 step.
Yeah. Correct. Will you tell us you're down? For down? Yeah.
So going down, you need to add another block for when.
So when down arrow key pressed.
Then you turn it to 180 degrees. Then you move 10 steps.
Okay. Sawa. The 3 groups. Make sure you do it pale wanne. Mfanye nyinyi wanne. Sawa. I'll give you 1.5 a minute. Hata 1.5 ni mingi. Juu simsha niambia kitu inawekwa. So for that 1 minute, I want us to have when I come and press your laptops, the up, down, left, and right arrow should be working. Yes. At 1 minute ni mingi, you can do it in like 30 seconds. You remember the thing for duplicating? Those that remember this one, mnaweza maliza in like a minute, in like 10 seconds. You're done. Good job. Washamaliza wale? You have a quiz? So, wacha wamalize kuprogram your up, down, right, whatever. We go for the break and then tukirudi tuendelee. I trust you, Naj. And I... Mimi ndo nawafanyia. Wewe ndo nawafanyia. Which team wamemaliza? Tumebakiwa na sekunde 45. 45. Yeah. 45 is 45. Nice. Good job. We have 3 people who are already done. Mmemaliza? Acha niangalie hii kwanza.
So when you are left, sawa. To goes kaja upande wa
You don't have to press, just press pale.
Yeah. So next ni up arrow. To goes. Then the right.
Yeah. You see the purpose of having the heart blocks is so that you don't have to press them every time. Whatever is there already happens automatically. Yes. Good job. Umemaliza?
Hii is the second step here.
Okay, so up, correct, right, mjeka right,
Yeah.
okay, down, down,
It's supposed to be 90.
down,
Yeah.
is down 90. Hebu enda pale, weka hii kitu iangalie chini. It's 180. Okay. Good. So the other one imebaki. So I see like 85% of the class mmemaliza. So niliwaambia mnaweza maliza in 30 seconds, ndio? So let me show you how. You remember the place where we said we are going to duplicate? Because if you see, it's just the same blocks, but you've just changed one or two things, right? Yeah, so instead of going to look for all of those blocks 10 mara nne, you just come and duplicate. I hope we are all seeing. Na duplicate pale, una duplicate pale. And then you duplicate. So that is up arrow. That means the next one needs to be down arrow. Nabadilisha hiyo inaangalia chini. Hii inakuwa right arrow. Nabadilisha inaangalia vile. Left arrow. Done. Nimemaliza hata 30 seconds. Nimemaliza 30 seconds. But sijafika 1 minute, si ndio? Yeah, so the aspect of duplicating helps to make our work so much easier, especially when you're using the same codes and changing just a few things. All right, so does everyone have these codes? You can assess yourself and see if you've done the right thing. Ukifinya ya juu na iangalii juu, unajua hapo kidogo umechemsha. Ukifinya kando, aiangalii kando, unaenda unaangalia that particular code. So if your project is working the way we expect it, can I have a thumbs up? Iko sawa? Iko sawa? Okay, sawa sawa. So, yes? Yes, we go for animation. Oh, hata tujamaliza hii. Tukienda kwa animation tutakuwa tunaonja kidogo, kwingine. Let's finish this one and then we do animation. Sawa sawa. And the faster we get to do it, the faster we can get to do the animation. Sawa sawa. I think we can pause there for now, and then we come now and put the rules to the game. Sawa sawa. To have the sprite moving. I'm going to invite Miss Najla to take us. Okay,
As you wait for
go
the
ahead.
machine to be made up, I have a question for you. Why Scratch? Why are you learning Scratch? Why is it important for the learners to learn Scratch? Because if you can't see the relevance, then it will be difficult for you also to transfer the same information to the teacher. Because the teacher will ask you, minus this one. Am I okay? A learner will ask you, minus this one. Nitakufa. Minus this one. Will I make money? Minus this one. Will I pass my exams? So you as a TOT, what will be your response? When mwalimu amekuuliza swali. I was a teacher at some point. I remember there was a time I was talking to students and I was telling them they need to work harder. Kama kawaida bila tunaambia wanafunzi. Then a student hapo mtu kanyosha mkono. Anambia mwalimu na swali mwalimu. Kwa hiyo tuambie tutie bidii, ndio? Naambia mtie bidii. Tena akaangalia wenzake akamwambia jamani na swali na kumuuliza teacher. Wanafunzi I don't know, it's like they can't. So anafunza akamwambia yeye angusha. Akamwambia mwalimu wewe ulipata grade gani? Akamwambia nenda kwa campus. Kasoma ndio kwa sawa. Gavana wetu, that time it was Joe who was the governor. Gavana wetu alisoma Sirani hapo. Akapata grade gani? Akamwambia D-. Na ni governor analipwa shinga. Nikamwambia sijui. He told me the salary. Then akaniambia being a governor means what? He's in charge of even Professor Mazrui. Sino kweli? By then he was not dead. So akaniambia he's even in charge of Professor who? Mazrui. So how do you convince me that education is what? Is the key to life? Do you think that learner challenged me? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. It was a good challenge. But now, I had to respond in a way to ensure that the learner saw the need for him being in class. Because in Nigeria, if we look at Joho himself, macha zao alikuwa na D-. Sahi anasomea nini? I was able to show them kwamba alikuwa anaendelea na masomo. Nikawauliza, why is this gentleman bado anaendelea na nini? Na masomo. Which means he knows the importance of education it comes to leadership. It will boost his what? His chances of being a better leader. So now, back to this one. Are we learning this just to be told to mesoma scratch? Ama what is the relevance to the learner that is in class? Because you are taking this information, mtatrain walimu wenye watatrain wanafunzi. Ama wenye watafunza wanafunzi. Yes, sir.
I think one of the main reasons is that Scratch actually enhance learning.
Yes.
In the build situation, very classroom situation. So maybe the trainee may argue that such like programs or such like games and whatever are available in very many other ways.
Yes.
Why learn Scratch? But the fact is, if you learn Scratch, then you'll be able to come up with varieties that are suitable to the level and the situation that you intend to address.
Okay, that's one. Number two? I have 2 minutes. Nirudishe kwa mada. Problem solving skills and logical thinking, which are part of what? The so-called 21st century skills. Now, wewe kufunga mchezo wote, hata usisumbuke wala nini. It is in the CBE. Hii scratch mnafunzwa hapa sasa hivi. It is in the CBE. Which grade? Nawapatia assignment. By the time tunaenda lunch turudi, mmejua iko grade ngapi? Kuna kitambo mlikuwa mnasoma topics na subtopic. Siku hizi kwa CBE wanaongelea story ya strand yenye nasimama as topic na substrand as a subtopic. Umeshika hiyo? Strand and substrand. So ukifunza walimu hapo same topic because wao ni wa CBE, utaongea mambo ya nini? Strand and substrand. So wende uangalie ni strand gani na ni substrand gani. Ni substrand gani yenye scratch inapatikana. And then you link why scratch is important when it comes to what? To the learners. Is that clear? And everything you are learning here, get the relevance so that you can transfer the same information to the team, to the teacher. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Hebron. Okay, so based on everything that you've learned from Mr. Hebron and Madam Abigail today, we have a short assessment test for all of you guys to, just so that we can gauge what you've been able to grasp. So I would like all of you to take out your phones and scan this code. It will take you to a site. Don't start, okay?